in hindsight, sometimes you just feel like you picked the wrong stock. And this past week, in last week of May, that's certainly was the feeling, and it was with Snowflake. They reported earnings, and they were good earnings. They weren't they didn't really exceed their numbers, their forecasts. Sure, they guided up a little bit or above expectations of the street, but it wasn't that much higher. And the stock goes up 40 some percent, the day after they reported earnings, and then it goes further up another 6.8% to close at 255 and 55 cents. Wow, that is just a mind-blowing spike after earnings. And again, the earnings was good, but not, it wasn't a blowout quarter like Dell. Dell had a blowout quarter this past week. Yeah, and so we sold 2 contracts for Snowflake, and that was very painful. And we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, I guess Snowflake was lumped into the SaaS apocalypse stock, and a whole bunch of them got weighed down as through the past few months. And Salesforce was one of the stocks, and which also reported on the same day, and they didn't go anywhere. They're still being anchored down. But Snowflake, on the other hand, broke out like mad. You can see here from 175 reported earnings, which they beat earnings, but it wasn't like they crushed earnings. And then suddenly, the stock takes off like 37%. It's an insane number. So we look at here, we were looking very good to making like pretty good money this month, but it's all taking a 180 U-turn where we're in the negative zone of minus $3,066. So that's minus 7% if you calculate that from the 50K that we would limit ourselves to counting on. And let's recap on the month. So the recap, we had one bad trade at the beginning, and again, it's AI related. AMD just kept going up, and that was a kind of a punishing trade. But everything else, Palantir, Skyworks, Coinbase, and Dash, we were all making good money. And the next week, 11 to 12, we continued to roll it in. And then third week of May, Shopify, Kava, Intuit, and Zoom all brought us really good gains, and most of them were because of they reported earnings and their stock didn't go into the money. It was either flat or it just went up a bit, but still below the money. But then here, the 25th, 29, Snowflake, just 2 contracts. That 215 that was offering, would be enough to protect ourselves from any upside that you may expect from it, even though it might have a good quarter. But it was underestimated that the streets said if they have a good quarter, and the wild card was, are they impacted by AI? And no, and actually AI is helping them, and that's what they proved on the call. And so we sold 2 contracts for 241, and then I bought it back. So they reported on Wednesday, and then I bought it back on Friday, and it cost $36 a contract. It put us at a whopping negative $7,200, and so it's a loss of $6,718. And then we were up like about 3,500. Now we're down about 3,500, 3,566. So all in all, that wiped out a lot of the gains for the year, and we had 2 challenging months back to back. And in this market, it's quite interesting. Some stocks are going parabolic. Like Dell is one of them in this past week, and Snowflake is one of them, and even database company MongoDB announced earnings, and it looked like they had a run up going into the earnings, and then after earnings they in the after hours they shot up. Just it was crazy. But then of course at the opening bell they actually were in the negative zone. So I think it's just really wild. But definitely as the Trump administration saying that there's progress on peace deal with Iran, stocks have got hot. And certainly AI hardware, a lot of them are very hot. And Marvell is another example. They reported earnings too. They had a crazy run going into earnings, but after earnings, they were not able to further elevate that much more. But they didn't go down. They didn't crash. They were just kind of more steady, and they're up for quite a bit. So yeah, that's all I have for this month. Looks like we took a really big step back, and it's all because of one stock that really kind of like took us out. Last year we had one bad month too, when we were using about 40K and hoping not to rely on margin, and we were 7 for 11 that month, and we were down 7.5%. So this is up there with that kind of bad quarter that we had. So anyways, yeah, next month is June. I think in this upcoming month I'm going to and it's not because of the snowflake trade. I just want to take the month off and focus on other stuff. So we'll be back in July, okay? So this month will be summer break. Summer break here. Bam. So this year, so far we were up a whole bunch, and now we're down to only $715, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, maybe no, we should be that's the correct number. Okay, so unfortunately that's what I have to report, but hey, that's how it is. Sometimes you get one bad trade and it blows you out of the water. But this case, oh man, it did so much damage. I just can't believe this one trade. We had some trades that would do damage, but this one I think is the all-time record. Okay, yeah, but we will just have to wait and try our best to rebuild from here. Okay, that's all I have for now. Catch you next time. Again, we'll focus on my other videos. Selling call options. I just want to take a break and maybe come back in July. All right, we'll keep you updated. Don't forget to like if you do. You like money, and I hope you're making more money than I am on selling call options.